It's Coach Casey coming to you today to talk about healthy habit number 6. It is H, which stands for have a positive outlook. So some people might think this is a silly one, but I can tell you the more that I have learned about mental health and the way that we perceive life, the more I've become interested in realizing that we need to do something about it. Did you know that the way that you perceive things has a major impact on your immune system and actually has the ability to rewire your brain? So if you tend to have the glass half empty scenario when you're thinking through life about whatever the situation is, you're going to start to pattern your thoughts into negative ways. And that will wire your brain so that even something that might not naturally be negative, you just jump to that conclusion that there could be a potential negative. And for a little while in my life, I kind of lived with that scenario thinking, well, if I assume the worst about a situation, then if it's not that bad, it'll eventually, it might come out better and then I'll be happier. And it's such a bad way to consider things. You really need to look at things with the glass half full and hope for the best, assume the best. We're surrounded by negativity. Every time you turn on the news or even sometimes your social media, you're going to be surrounded by something that's negative and that brings you down. And so we have enough of that in our life. So I would recommend, first of all, stop watching the news. I'm not telling you to be uninformed, but trust me, if there's a major event, you'll hear about it. You don't have to tune into your local news to hear it. And in reality, remember that the news is a form of entertainment. It does not have to contain truth. It can have a smidgen of truth and a whole bunch of lies. So do not allow that to change the thoughts on how you're going to live your life or go about your day or anything, because that's not having a positive outlook. Negative outlooks that make us feel hopeless, helpless, they actually upset your hormone balance in your body. It creates chronic stress and it depletes your brain of serotonin, which is that release of chemical that makes us feel happy. So when we are constantly down and surrounded by negativity, it pulls that out of us and we don't have it anymore. Furthermore, just having a negative outlook actually has shown to shorten your lifespan. So lots of reasons why we need to stop thinking negatively and start thinking in a positive way. A lot of times the negative or inward looking is called navel gazing. And when we are navel gazing, we are so fixed on our problems and our symptoms or our situation that we kind of lose sight of everything around us. And in reality, we do so much better in our health, even if we're sick. We do better in our health when we're thinking about others and not ourselves. So when I was going through cancer, one of my outlets was journaling, and I would journal. And I might share in my journal some things that were hard about the day, but I always would take note of putting one thing down that I was thankful for in that day, because it doesn't matter how bad your day is, there is something to be thankful for. The very fact that you can see, that you can breathe, that you can hear, all of those senses, that's a blessing. And every day is a gift, you guys. You don't know when your last day will be. And a lot of times when we're young, or even if we're not young, we just get so caught up in life that we completely forget that we don't know how long we have. So it's important to live each day with an intention and purpose, and to know that having a positive outlook really matters. It makes such a difference. And there are things that we can do that will help to boost your mood if you're having depression and whatnot. Exercise, we already talked about in an earlier video. Exercise is huge for that. Stretching, breathing, just those normal things that we do every day, but we don't focus on. Those can really help to lift your mood and help your outlook change. Another thing you can do is just reach out to someone else, whether it's through a text, a phone call, an email, checking on somebody else to see how they are, and investing in their life is positive for you. It's so positive when we do things for others. Another thing that I did during my cancer was I would write letters to people. When I was sick, I knew that there were other people that I knew that were sick, or other people that were just lonely. Maybe they were, widows. I would write letters, because having the outlet of sharing, I'm thinking about you and I'm caring about you today, and I just wanted to see how things are going, it makes people feel so loved and supported. And honestly, we need that. We need community. We are not meant to live on an island. We are not meant to be alone. And when we're isolated, we feel that. We feel that overthinking that starts to happen, the what ifs that start coming up in our mind, and it gets us in a bad place so fast. So it's really important to rewire that brain into that positive thinking. For me personally, I would not have the positive outlook that I have if I didn't know Jesus Christ as my Savior. For me, that is a huge part of my life that has changed my outlook greatly. And I'd be happy to share anything with you on that if you have questions. But I encourage you to find outlets to reduce your stress, to improve your mood, and to think positive. Have that glass half full mentality, and it will do your health some real good. Take care.